My name is David Caruso. I'm a Milwaukee native on a mission to show you the very best of what our city has to offer. To help me on this journey, I've enlisted help from some of Milwaukee's most dynamic people. Today, I'm meeting with a vlogger bridging the gap to our Spanish-speaking population and Milwaukee's favorite foodie judge. It's time to explore the good things brewing in Milwaukee. When Sandra Dempsey moved from Mexico to Milwaukee in 2002, she was working as an attorney. Her knack for storytelling in both English and Spanish found her transitioning into the media world, working for companies like Telemundo and ESPN Deportes. She now owns her own Milwaukee video production company called Source 10 Creative. Sandra is also the founder of Estamos Unidos US, a Spanish-language multimedia platform that functions as a bridge to the Hispanic community in Milwaukee by sharing stories, health and wellness tips, and upcoming events. I met up with Sandra at one of her favorite hangouts, Colectivo Coffee in Wauwatosa, a convenience stop near both of our homes. Colectivo's locations are known for their cozy atmosphere and are sprinkled throughout Wisconsin and Chicago. But the business got its start right here in Milwaukee. We're right here in Colectivo, which is one of my favorite spots, but what makes it one of yours?
It's an easy word for me to say, Colectivo. It's a Spanish word, so I think maybe that's probably the reason why I like it the most, is because it's easier for me to pronounce. I'll see you at Colectivo.
So you grew up in Mexico and have chosen Milwaukee as your home. I'm so curious, what brought you here and why?
I was thinking about that this morning precisely. I was born in Mexico, as you mentioned. I went to law school there. And there was one time when I went on vacation to Ixtapa, and then I met this guy. This guy's name is Bob. I just really liked him, and he liked me, and we fell in love. And I remember telling my parents, I met Bob, he's from Milwaukee. First thing my dad says, oh, that's where the Harley Davidson are made. That's where Miller, the Miller Brewery is there. We got married in Mexico, and then after a wedding, we went on our honeymoon, and then I came back to live in Milwaukee.
So love brought you here, and then what about Milwaukee do you love?
There's so many things I love about Milwaukee. I must say, probably the first one I fell in love with is the lake. Sometimes I still tell myself, I can't believe I live in a place where we have such a beautiful lake surrounding us. I don't think I've ever been in a city where they have all these festivals, very related to keeping the culture and the traditions alive. I mean, Mexican fiesta, right? I never expected to be in Milwaukee going to a festival that has more than 80,000 people coming from all over the country.
I know that you have been able to be someone who implements change in so many places in our city, especially related to, making those language barriers go away. I mean, you must just feel so proud.
Being that agent of change does make me feel very proud. It wasn't something that I planned, and I think that's what surprises me the most. It was beautiful to be able to go to different places and in my own language talk about why Colectivo is amazing, why so many places, Wisconsin State Fair, Summerfest, why ice skating is important here, why do we have such an amazing place to go ice skating. So it's a really nice way to keep working on Milwaukee being a more diverse and inclusive city.
Meet me in Milwaukee. The gathering place, where people of all walks of life come together to flourish. Together, where there's a part for everyone. Whether you're a native species or wondering where to raise your seeds, a new place to plant your roots, a new beginning. Gather for a conference, gather for a meeting, but always gather for the eating. We gather all the flowers in the dome of this city, where some of us go for adventure, and some of us go to remember where our roots are nourished by our waters in the city we've chosen to grow. Captivated by a community where the only thing missing is you. Together, in the gathering place in Milwaukee, we'll thrive.
What makes Milwaukee special can't be seen on a map. It's about the feeling you get, the warmth and authenticity that's unique to Milwaukee. Anyone can come here and feel at home. We're building more so more people can experience all Milwaukee has to offer.
Oh, it's good, like that first cup in the morning. Oh, it's good, don't stop, just keep on going. Oh, it's good.
Sandra is a huge advocate of the HOP, Milwaukee streetcar system, that began operating in 2018. The HOP is free to ride and takes passengers along a route that stretches from the Lower East Side to Milwaukee's intermodal train and bus station in the Menominee Valley. An expansion of the route that heads east towards the lakefront is planned to open in 2023. Sandra and I hopped aboard at the stop in Cathedral Square and rode it south towards the 3rd Ward. We are now on the HOP, which is such a great way to get around our city.
It's one of my favorite things to do in Milwaukee because I feel like it's actually a good year-round attraction. There's so many good things to explore in every stop that I encourage everyone to really come, sit, relax, and enjoy Milwaukee. It's like, how do I get to express my city in a way that makes it feel new, unique, and different? And I feel like the HOP, if you really get into it and do your research to see what is out there, every trip in the HOP will be a different trip.
This has been such a fun ride on the HOP together, and now we're gonna explore around the historic 3rd Ward.
Oh, I love it there.
So here we are in one of my favorite spots, the historic 3rd Ward.
There's so much history. There's so many places to explore. I mean, from clothing, home decor, art, food. I mean, you name it, David.
It is here. All right, I need a Spanish language lesson. How do you say I love Milwaukee?
Yo amo Milwaukee.
Okay, perfect. Let's give it our best shot.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Yo amo Milwaukee!
It was time for lunch, so Sandra took us to Oscar's Pub and Grill in Mitchell Park. Oscar's is one of the most popular burger joints in Milwaukee, which says a lot in a city with so many great places to get a burger. This is, first of all, like the ultimate fried basket. The drinks are so good. Mango margarita for me.
Salud.
With this amazing chili rim. I don't know how I'm gonna be after this for lunch, but I'm for it. And then, if you can believe it or not, I mean,
You're big O.
this is literally like the most gigantic burger I have ever seen. And it's ooey and gooey and filled with goodness.
You know, like I ordered the fish fry. And also, when you think about the margaritas, they have really fun flavors. I mean, they even have like a margarita cocktail menu. And I love when there's some Spanish words in there, like spicy sandia. You know what sandia is?
No.
Watermelon.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, and
Spicy watermelon.
If you look through the menu, you'll see some Spanish words sprinkled in there as much as ingredients. Look at that. Oh!
I spy a jalapeno. So what do you think about the food scene in Milwaukee?
I think we're very lucky, and besides all the cultures and ethnicities of food that we have around, I think it's very fun when you go to a restaurant and then you see sprinkles of other ethnicities in a restaurant that you don't expect. I remember going to a very American restaurant and then I read to the menu and there's some Mexican ingredients, spicing some of their foods, which make them more unique. And I feel like we are very creative when it comes to food in Milwaukee.
I love it. Wow. A jalapeno in your burger. One of the things I love so far about our lunch here is that everyone that strolls through the door is just coming from a different place. Some are here on a lunch break, but it's just such a cool, eclectic group of people.
Absolutely. That's why I became a storyteller, because I'm one of these people who, when I see someone, I always think, how did they get here? Where do they come from? What's your life about? And I feel like when you come to a restaurant like this, as you say, you sit here, you can just watch and just learn about people just by watching.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we came to Oscar's for lunch, and I will be back for more margaritas, so thank you so much.
Salud.
For her last stop, Sandra took me to one of the most beloved institutions in Milwaukee's Hispanic community. El Rey is a family-owned Hispanic grocery store chain opened by Beto and Ernesto Villarreal in 1978. They built upon the popularity of their father's Kerner grocery store, which had become a gathering space for Milwaukee's growing Hispanic population. Now, El Rey has 4 locations spread throughout Milwaukee. Sandra and I visited their market on Oklahoma Avenue near the Jackson Park neighborhood.
When I came to Milwaukee, I felt like I was back in Mexico for a moment. Coming to a store, you look around and everything reminds me of Mexico here, right? And you see piñatas, you see all the foods that you can find in Mexico. We just walk by the avocados, right? And we just walk by the cactuses. And that's why I like to come to El Rey, because I can find the things that I cannot find anywhere else. A funny story is, when I got married, I didn't know how to cook. So I came to this country not knowing how to cook, and I brought some good Mexican recipe books. And I'm like, okay, let's just do it, right? So I opened the books and I'm like, where are these ingredients? I don't know, how can I find this in Milwaukee? I came to El Rey and all these ingredients that I didn't even know that they exist in Mexico, they were here. Especially like if they ask for like a particular kind of meat, right? You can come to the meat shop there and they have the specific cuts for these kind of dishes. All the chilies, all the spices, the vegetables. It's just fascinating to be at a store in the middle of the US, right? And then you can find all these Mexican ingredients. It's my home. Because of the flavors. And I would say the most important thing too is really help me keep my traditions alive.
I love strolling through this grocery store with you because you're just a wealth of knowledge. And one of the things that I love, I am a sweet tooth. And my guilty pleasure, I can hardly pass up this case, the tres leches. It just screams to me.
¿Nos puedes dar una tortilla? Gracias.
Gracias.
Mira, David, empiezas aquí así y luego vas haciéndole así con la mano, así. Tienes tu taco. It's important for people to know that they made a lot of their own products. So when you come in here, you're really supporting local businesses, the local people. I think that's important for people to know that El Rey not just brings products from other areas, but they're a very local-based store.
The people of Milwaukee are something. Making something new, something special, making change. Yes, this is Milwaukee, where alleyways turn to art galleries and MVPs are more valuable off the court. A place powered by the people, making their city a bona fide worldwide phenomenon. So come and feel a little bit of that people power for yourself.
Next, I met up with my friend and one of Milwaukee's favorite foodies, Derek Mosley. Formerly a municipal judge, he's now the director of the Lubar Center at Marquette University. He's beloved by Milwaukeeans and is one of the city's most in-demand wedding officiants, having performed over 900 ceremonies. Derek is passionate about Milwaukee's diverse people and its food. He treats his 14,000 Facebook followers to mouth-watering pics of his meals as he explores Milwaukee's ever-expanding collection of restaurants, festivals, and food trucks. We first met at Pilco Coffee in the historic Bronzeville neighborhood, a favorite stop for people who really know their coffee. Bronzeville was the economic and social hub for Milwaukee's Black community starting during the Great Migration in the early 1900s. It was the focal point for jazz, blues, and African American art in the city. Today, it's undergoing a renaissance that has seen hundreds of millions of dollars in reinvestment that has made it one of the most vibrant neighborhoods for culture and locally owned businesses.
This is such a cool place. It has such a neat vibe. What is your favorite drink? I see this Flight in front of you. Yeah. Is this your go-to?
I can't make my mind up on what I want to drink, and so they have so many great options. So the Flight allows me to get a little bit of everything.
I love the variety. I think it's so much fun. This is pumpkin spice, right?
Oh my goodness, yes. Yes, nitro, salted caramel, almond cookie, and pumpkin spice. You can't go wrong.
Delicious.
Breakfast. I like to come to a coffee shop, sit in, and I like to catch up on all the news that's going on in the city of Milwaukee. I spend my whole day with people. In the mornings, I like to spend the time on my own, just have my own moment to get ready for what the day has.
And talk about things happening in our city. I mean, you are one of those things. You are everywhere, from officiating weddings to sitting on the bench, a community activist, a philanthropist. I mean, there's so many things that you have your hands and your heart in our city. And why is it so important to be one of those people out front in our city?
To whom much is given, much is expected, right? And so I've been wonderfully blessed with an opportunity to, go to law school, become a lawyer, become a judge, and just want to give back to the community and let people know that you can do it as well, right? So my mom used to always tell me this. She's like, there's a lot of people out there that don't have any contact with Black people. Mm-hmm. That's my goal, is just to be seen, right? Whether it's on the bench, whether it's doing weddings, whether it's in the community, to be seen so people know who I am and what Milwaukee means to me.
After our coffee, it was time to visit one of Bronzeville's most iconic institutions, America's Black Holocaust Museum. The museum was founded in 1988 by the late Dr. James Cameron, the only known survivor of a lynching, which occurred in 1930. After settling in Milwaukee later in life, Dr. Cameron dedicated his life to civil rights and education. The museum chronicles the story and struggle of African Americans from 1619 through present day. Derek took me for a tour of the exhibits, and we had a conversation about the museum's mission of education and reconciliation with the president and CEO, Dr. Bert Davis.
Black history is actually a passion of mine. And it's important to get that information out because a lot of Black history is U.S. history, right? And so it's nice that we have one location where you can get Black history in Milwaukee, but also the whole United States. I didn't learn a lot of these stories growing up as a kid. And so it's great that my kids have an opportunity to come to a place and see the things that I had to learn on my own, right? So we're slowly making progress. And the fact that it's in Milwaukee is amazing, right?
One of the things that I saw was just this phrase of ways to survive and resist.
Oh, definitely. There's a Black man's holding a sign in America that says, I am a man, because he wasn't treated as a man. And to think from that point now to me sitting on the bench is just, it's miraculous. But I don't sit here alone, right? I sit on the shoulders of my ancestors, and they built that foundation to get me where I am. Maya Angelou said it best, I am the hope and dream of the slave. They would never have this opportunity, and I would never have this opportunity if it wasn't for them.
And it's interesting because, there's this great migration of travel from the south to the north, and literally this neighborhood was a place that people came to start again.
You better believe it. They came up to Milwaukee for jobs and opportunity, and this neighborhood that we are standing in right now was the height of all of it. Jazz clubs, blues clubs, restaurants, all these things owned by Black operators. Count Basie, Duke Ellington, all of these famous musicians were in this location where we're standing right now, entertaining Milwaukeeans. And it's just amazing to think about our place in history. And when I heard the news that Dr. Bert was coming to take over the museum, I think I screamed, everybody heard it. I screamed so loud because who better to lead this charge than Dr. Bert? So we're fortunate to have you, brother.
Well, I appreciate
I'm fortunate to call you my friend.
Why is it so important for people to come here and experience the museum?
We curate history, we curate experiences. So being in this museum evokes so many different emotions. We aren't just an African American museum. We do have subject matter that primarily deals with the African American experience, but we are a museum that's based in America, but our experiences and our history is told through the lens of African Americans. And so when you kind of change that context and perspective, this is all of our history. Everybody in this room that's filming this is a part of our collective history.
We don't really understand people's struggle unless we put ourselves in a place to learn about it.
Absolutely.
And this is a place where people can learn, they can be inspired, and they can be moved to be better people. So thank you for making it possible for us.
I knew that spending the day with a foodie like Derek meant that I was in for a treat, and our next stop didn't disappoint. Derek took me to one of his favorite restaurants, Heaven's Table BBQ, which features a dish named after him. We stopped in to talk to the owner, Jason Alston, before digging into our lunch.
You're literally taking me to heaven.
I'm taking you to heaven. Heaven's Table.
This
My
is
favorite place.
One of your favorite places. And Jason,
How's it going?
owner, chef.
Operator,
Wow,
chef.
such a pleasure to see
As
you.
well.
Why does this guy get a named item on the menu?
Well, he was one of my first customers about
Yeah.
10 years ago.
You've been catering like always.
So I've been catering, and he kind of caught wind of me and my barbecue, and he started coming to my house to get some. So it was almost like
Before he
you know,
had,
yeah, before
Pounding on
this
the
even
door,
came
yeah.
into fruition, he was eating my food.
You're a foodie.
Yeah.
You go to all kinds of restaurants, you love all kinds of cuisine all over Milwaukee and everywhere that you travel.
Yeah.
And this is one of your favorites.
Some people like to put sauce on it so you don't get the true flavor of the meat. That's why I love it here, because you get the meat, and if you want sauce, you can put sauce on it. But you don't have to put it on it to disguise anything. The meat's good, and the way it's prepared is excellent.
This lunch is seriously no joke.
It's no joke.
Oh my gosh, the Mosley right here. Tell us what we're gonna enjoy.
So we have 2 meats. So we have brisket and we have chicken. And then we have 4 sides. So we have collard greens, mac and cheese, dirty rice, and baked beans.
And cornbread.
It's not complete without the cornbread, right?
And you're a no sauce guy. I enjoy the sauce, so let's dig in.
Yes.
Heaven's Table. Now, how often do you come here for lunch?
Do I have to say it? Too often. Too often. I probably come here once during the week, once on the weekend.
And even in the short time that we've been here, people come from a distance to get some Heaven's Table.
It's perfect. It's perfectly seasoned. The chicken the same way. And we have to dig into the sides yet.
People know you as a Milwaukee foodie. You're like a restaurant food advocate. And so many people look to you for ideas on where to eat.
It's hard because it's ever increasing. Every day a new place is open, so I try to get to as many as I possibly can. My goal is to get people to try things they generally didn't try before, right? So some people may not have had dirty rice before, and some people never had collard greens before. And so if I can get people who have never tried a place before to come in and try it, then it's a win.
Next, Derek and I went down to Walker's Point to check out Thelma Carroll Wine Merchants, a boutique wine and spirits shop that opened in 2022. I was blown away as soon as I stepped inside.
It really does feel so authentic, like you've been transported back in time a little bit.
It's gorgeous. The brick, the floors, the backdrop on the bar, it's amazing.
It is so nice. Hello.
Gentlemen,
Good to see you. Thank you
Good
for
to see
having
you again,
us.
my friend.
cheers.
I'm so glad that the judge took me here because it really is such a cool spot.
Thank you so much. We're happy you're here.
Well, let's start with something to drink, and then we want to talk more about your great
Sounds
place.
good.
How did you and your wife, correct, start this wonderful place?
Well, I've been in the industry for about 16 years, kind of all over the Midwest. And at one point, you just kind of realize it's time to do things on your own terms. So we talked. We knew we wanted to be here specifically because up until now, there really hasn't been a wine shop per se. And the plans came along. We came up with the name first, which is a nod to our grandmothers. So Thelma Carroll Wine Merchants started right then and there. We came up with the idea about tying in the libraries because they all have library backgrounds. I have an MLS. So that's where the books and the old furniture and the turn of the century stuff came into play.
So, Derek, this wonderful place has only been here for about 2 months. How did you come across it?
I think they have a pretty remarkable social media presence. And I remember watching a video that was done, and sitting on a couch, drinking a glass of wine. There's a book and a typewriter was there. And I was like, I have to go check this place out.
It's like you just want to transport yourself
Yes, and I walked in and friendly people and just a great atmosphere and even people in the bar alone. I met great people. It was amazing. I'm like, this is my spot.
Yes, I love that.
When it comes down to the daily activities, it's the connections that we can make with customers that come in. They want something specific. They don't know what they want. Whatever the situation is, it's fun to build relationships and bond over the actual bottle.
And you're so committed to vermouth. I love your tats on your hands there. I mean, was that really just your love of vermouth?
Yeah.
To end the day, Sandra met up with us at Thelma Carroll. She and Derek spoke about what inspires them to promote Milwaukee so proudly.
This is so fun because I wanted to get the two of you together so badly. Judge Mosley and Sandra, two of Milwaukee's ultimate cheerleaders. I'm so glad you have the opportunity to meet each other.
I'm ecstatic. We've been sitting here chatting for the last hour. It's perfect.
When you have visitors from out of town, how do you tell them about Milwaukee?
It's hard to start somewhere. There is so much to do and see and experience. I always start with the lake, and I tell them this is what Milwaukee is. And after that, driving around and showing them, the neighborhoods. Of course, the stadium, the Pfizer. There's so much to Milwaukee that just driving around with people who are visitors can really have them saying, wow, I didn't know Milwaukee looked like this.
Do you find the same thing, Derek?
Yes, definitely. All my friends from Chicago are coming up to Milwaukee because they find it cheaper, more affordable condos, and also the food scene. We've talked about that a number of times. The food scene here, it was just like Chicago, right? It's on a smaller market, but it's still top-notch chefs, great cuisine. It's amazing.
So one of Derek's favorite things is the food scene, which that's why I became friends with him, quite frankly.
I think that's going to be a trio now.
Yes. And for those of us that do live, eat, and play here in this city, I feel like we still are surprised. What is something that still surprises you, Derek?
Me? Oh gosh, I'm trying to keep up with all the food places.
Yes.
I mean, every week a new place opens up, and I'm trying to figure out how can I get there. And then as soon as I get there, another place opens up. So, to me, every week is a new food opening of a restaurant.
I think for me, the creativity of the people who live in Milwaukee, always reinventing things that already were good, but they're just making them better. Coming up with new business, new restaurants, new ideas. I feel like I enjoy a lot seeing entrepreneurs and people who are making the city better and better every day.
So I just want to let you both know, I mean, there is no doubt that some of the best things brewing in our city have your handprint on them. So thank you for being cheerleaders. Yes, I'm going to get another fist bump. There are good things brewing because of both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
David, thank you for allowing us to do this.
It's my pleasure.
Getting to spend the day with Milwaukee's biggest cheerleaders was a special experience. From visiting El Rey with Sandra to trying the Mosley with Derek at Heaven's Table, their passion for Milwaukee shines through.